Well, hello, my beautiful people. I know it's been a while, and look, I've got cards in my hand. I do intend on making content, I promise. It's just, I've been on vacation mode, and I know that it's been a long vacation mode, but technically I did make content while I was still in vacation mode. Technically, I made one video. I'm sorry. But yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure this reading's for me, but we're gonna go with it anyway. And yeah, so there's been a lot of changes, and I feel like a lot of us have taken a step back this month or this previous month in general, just because we needed to reevaluate our strengths, our weaknesses, our wants, our needs, and our desires, and differentiate between all of them, because they're all separate things, believe it or not. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. And that's why it takes a pause. It takes time to consider really what ideally we want for ourselves, and not just the people, places, things around us, and the scenarios that we cannot find ourselves in or without. I know that sounds tricky, but it's a lot simpler than it made it sound, I promise. So to get started, we're going to read these cards. Oh, one of them's upside down. Don't worry, these cards aren't read backwards. That's for a different deck. Anyway, so yeah, it's been a little bit of a interesting past month, because we were still receiving all of our abundance. We were just receiving it in different ways that we weren't really considering it before, or perhaps were considering but just were not authentically taking it in and actually dissolving, digesting, and really connecting with what we were receiving. So this is the time to really start evaluating what you want and how you're going to not necessarily achieve it, but which route you're going to take so you can achieve it, because it's achievable, I promise you. It may not always seem like it, but you've done all the work, you've done all the steps. And let's just read these cards. Okay, anyway, the King of Cups. So it's really the Master Manifester. This is your spirit guide, by the way. Like, you may not see like this masculine energy as like this godlike being, but the universe is really connected with masculinity, even though it may not seem like it. There's a lot of masculinity in this world that we don't actually consider, because we don't see them as masculine things. We separate things in different ways that we don't really actually conceive conceptually. It's just something that we do subconsciously. So, okay, this right here is basically your cup of Aquarial energy. I know Aquarius is like an air sign, not a water sign, but my point is, there's a bug. I'm sorry. I'm not just doing this hand motion because I'm crazy. I mean, I am, but go away, bro. Okay, anyway, so it's really about understanding that, whatever you want, the world is right here. It seems like it's just an ocean, but it's an ocean. Earth itself is an ocean. It flows, it changes with the current, it changes with the environment around it. And I've mentioned this before, like how water flows. Like, there's like these tiny little droplets, they all come together and then they take the path of everything else. So it's basically about finding out, you as this little tiny water droplet, where you want to go and flow in life. So that's all it takes. It really takes some real honest consideration, though. It's not like that one and done thing, because you can get bored, tired, and just over anything. Like, how many hobbies do we go through? Those, again, are just hobbies. They're not something that we can make passionate choices with. Sometimes we can, but hobbies and passions, I promise you, is also very separate things. So make sure that you're considering what you're passionate about and what you want to pursue, because when you like something and you enjoy it, and then you bring money involved in it, it can be a harsh and toxic environment if you don't find that balance. I'm just saying. So anyway, so the King of Cups, you got this. The money's in the bag, bro. You gotta think about what you actually want. But yeah, all that thinking is a pause. It's a necessary pause, but you don't want to pause forever, because you'll be like me and become very stagnant, not make content for like a month, and you'll find yourself in this place that you shouldn't have put yourself in. I know, I'm sorry. But illusionary success, the Seven of Cups. It's not the end of the world. It just means that, the hard work that you were putting in, like, you're not going to see the fruits of your labor because there's nothing flowing into these cups. You need to have flow. You need it to flow. If you're not putting energy and effort into the things that you want to desire and want to create, like, you're not going to see the fruits of your labor. It's just going to be illusionary success. You'll complete some projects like I did, but you won't sell anything. It's okay. I know it's rough. Trust me, I am always there. Just kidding. You didn't hear that from me, universe. It was a joke. Okay. Anyway. Illusionary success. It can be a harsh card to see. It can be a harsh card to really wrap yourself around, but it's not that big of a deal. You can come right back to your successes, and you just got to actually set up a path for yourself. You can't just be like one and done. Oh, I thought it and I conceived it and so it's mine. I get those people. I do. Love and light, bro, but for real, if we're gonna be honest, you can't make a picture by thinking of a picture. If you want it to be on a piece of paper, you gotta get a pencil, you gotta get the paper, and you gotta start drawing. And if you draw stick figures, you gotta work on your aesthetics. I love you. It's just true. Okay? Everything is a process. Like, nothing of value just comes falling from the sky. Unless it wants to. You can totally do that if you want to. I'm just saying. Anyway, so the last card is about strength. So having these situations where we're pushed back into our illusionary success because we're not actually putting the work in, the effort in, but you can come back and realize your strengths, which is, I'm here. I'm still making content. And look, I don't know if you can tell, but I was actually given this really magical phone. It has way better audio quality. It has way better video quality. And here we are, just, actually making a video. And I sound not completely insane. Inconsistent for once. Isn't that crazy how that works? You gain your strengths from looking back at your past. I have actually been watching some of my older videos. And if you haven't already, I suggest you do because they're cringy and they're worth watching. But yeah, and my tone has changed, my voice has changed, I've grown, I've learned how to communicate better, I've learned how to be staring into the camera sometimes because sometimes my eyes wander and it's just not good for videos. I'm just saying. But my point is, you get my point. It takes growth, okay? It takes growth. And, just because you're in a stagnant area in your life where your creativity is not flowing like it usually does, just take a step back, go in vacation mode for a little bit, tell your viewers beforehand so they know what's going on and they can understand that you won't be making content for a little while and they won't harass you and tell you how you're worthless. No, I'm joking. I really am. Nobody told me that I was worthless, only I did. Joking. I'm sorry. This is a funny channel. I hope you know that, because it is. I'm not that great of a I can't be serious. There's a lot of elements in me that are serious, but if we're just serious constantly, I'm just gonna depress you guys. Okay? I'm just saying. Anyway, so just understand that, just because you're at this place or whatever time and space where you don't feel like, what's going on is the way you want it to be, consider that as a reality and focus in on what that actually means. Don't just be like, oh, I gotta move somewhere, anywhere, whatever, let's just make a decision. Don't do that to yourself, because you're gonna end up in some other state, some other place, some other country, and feel exactly the way you did before. Yeah, I know. I know that's not the answer that you want to hear, and I know that's not the answer at all, but it's the truth. You're here for the truth. I hope you are, because that's what I'm going to tell you. And, when you actually consider that you're just not happy with what you're doing because it's not consistent with who you are, you start to come to this reality that you need to shift things into a place where you will actually be happy. Consider scenarios that make you unhappy. Consider scenarios that would make you happy, and figure out some sort of balance and energy between the two, because you can't just be happy all the time, and you can't consider people to you cannot believe that people will consider your own happiness and make decisions for you. Sometimes you gotta be not the bigger person, the stronger person, the more assertive person, and make decisions for yourself, because based solely on you, and I know this sounds crazy, but not solely on your kids and not solely on your spouse, your partner, whatever. I know that sounds bizarre and insane. You're like, well, dude, I have kids and my kids come first. I get it. I do. But if you're constantly putting everyone around you before yourself, how are you going to be happy for them? How are you going to be happy around them? And I know that this is also crazy to consider, but I'm not saying that you are or you'll ever go down that path. But sometimes we can grow a sense of resentment for ourselves and for other people around us because we didn't make the decision ourselves, and it falls back to us. And I had this conversation earlier today with somebody, and it actually gave me quite a bit of an epiphany of, like, you know, some of the decisions that I've made in my past for other people, or not even for other people, but I considered them before I considered myself. This yourself. We are in the selfish era, and I know that sounds egotistical or whatever, and you're like, no, my ego needs to dissolve. I get it. But you're lying to yourself. Oh my God, she said it. I'm sorry, but you are. You're lying to yourself if you think that you're just going to be happy because you can be. It doesn't work that way. You have to do things in your life, activities like gaming, art, tarot reading. You have to do things that you enjoy in order to be happy. You don't just sit here and you're like, yeah, unless you're just like stoned out of your mind. I'm joking, also joking, you know, sort of. But you know what I mean? Like, you're not just happy because you're happy. You're happy because you're doing things that you enjoy. So be honest about yourself with that reality, because it's the truth. And, you know, you can't hide from the truth. You can't run from the truth. You can walk away from it sometimes, and it's going to fall right behind you. So just understand that you're going to ace that test, yo. You have the sword, you got the crown, you got the ace of swords, bro. You can make these sounder decisions because you did the work and everything. You just got to be realistic about your approach towards life and towards yourself more than anything, because I know that this is also really crazy and conceptual, but bro, 9 out of 10, so many relationships, so many friendships, and so many just situations just fall through because somebody themselves were not considering themselves solely. And know this from my own personal life experience and from seeing other people do it to themselves. If you think that love is the only thing that matters, you're a liar. Because there's so many other things in life to consider besides love. Okay, now that we got that cleared, just be honest with yourself about whatever it is, relationships, love, friendships, family, hobbies, interests, career, whatever it is. You gotta be realistic, and you gotta understand too that just because you need to do something, you gotta make money, you gotta make these people happy, you gotta be a part of their lives. I know that sounds okay, I was joking about the last part. They're just a part of your lives, but you know, like, in order to really find like true inner peace, you gotta find a balance with all these things. And yeah, you gotta be honest too. Like, you do have to like prepare meals for your family. You gotta have a good consistent schedule and everything like that. It's 555, so you better be listening to this. Like, you do have to actually honestly consider these things. I'm not saying that you should just throw them out. I'm just saying that you should put them on like the back burner, and then put your main course right here on this front big burner, and like let the sauce over there like simmer and marinate, and then over here you're gonna cook that meat and really like focus in on, you know, the searing process and the juices and actually getting it to the right temperature and making sure it's thoroughly cooked. It's a process. Everything in life is a process, and it's balance. And in order to really consider like true happiness, because this is going to be something that hits you down the road in life. hits a lot of people. And yeah, at any point, you can be like 50, you could be like 90 and decide to take a different route in life. I've seen people do it. It's not impossible, and it doesn't make you insane, and it's not unfathomable. You can do this at any time in your life, but if you want to do it now, because you got more freedoms than you will in the future. Like, the longer you wait, the less options and variables you'll have to consider. I don't know about so much about the variables, but you know what I mean. Like, you're gonna have less options the older you get in order to do things. Maybe not entirely, but there are gonna be less things that are available or whatever to you, and things are going to change and blah blah blah. You know what I mean. This is a general view over. Let's look at this card that fell on the floor. Oh God. Short and force. You don't gotta worry so much. You did all the inner work. It's just really about, like, being honest about the route you want to actually go on. So just actually consider that for reals this time. Not like partially, not like sympathetically. Like, be real with yourself. Like, ask yourself the harder questions. Just do it. You can ask yourself in your own head. You don't have to write it down so people are going to find out or whatever. Like, whatever that inner fear is, like, look past it. Like, don't consider what other people think. I know this sounds bizarre, but we're always constantly thinking about what other people think, and we don't even prioritize ourselves that way. So just throw that out for like 2 seconds. You can like throw it on a reel, put it in the water, and do some fishing or whatever. I told you I'm bad with metaphors and analogies, but you know what I mean? Just like throw it out. And then later, after you've actually considered some options and scenarios and things, you can reel it back in and prioritize it again, okay? Like, it's you can throw it out and bring it back. Just do the throwing out process and then bring it back. And actually throw it out for a little while. Don't just throw it out for like 5 seconds, make a decision, and then blah. Like, it doesn't work that way. Okay? So just, be real, be honest, and consider your own happiness, your own inner peace, and your strengths, your weaknesses. Be considering your stagnant times, because no matter what business you're in, if you look at trends, and I see this from an analytical side because I did take data science. I just finished my course, by the way, another reason why I've been so gone. I actually was doing online school, aside from the point here. Statistical approach. There are downturns for every business you're in. People will pull out. People will, just like not be interested in a certain market at some time in life because it's not trending anymore, or it's just not popular, or it had this spark of moment for a little while and now it's back. And or there's trends that flow up and down, and sometimes you gotta get on a surfboard or whatever. I don't know anything about surfing. I'm sorry. I should just stop with all these analogies. I'm so sorry. But you sometimes you just gotta get on the damn surfboard and just ride the current and just figure out how to surf. Because the world around you is always going to be changing. It's not something that you can really just take a hold of and grab, collapse, and hold your circle for the rest of your life. You gotta change. And by change, I don't mean change who you are. I just mean grow. Like, grow through the process, take different routes, try different things, challenge yourself, allow yourself to grow through those challenges, and understand that it's just a part of the process. It really is. It's that simple. And when you see and realize that it's that simple, like, you make mistakes, that's a part of the process. It's going to challenge you to do better next time, and it's going to show you what your weaknesses are, and hopefully you'll be honest about those weaknesses, and then you'll learn more about yourself and the people and world around you. And so you'll learn how to do better, you'll learn how to work better, you'll learn how to prioritize yourself and all kinds of things. So don't throw that out and just get frustrated and just be like, yeah, nope, this isn't for me because it's not working. You think that things have have always worked out for me, because they haven't. I can reality check. Just because things are growing here does not mean things have always worked out for me mentally, physically, or monetary wise, because I have put in so much effort. I was working a full-time job. I was going to school full-time. I was sitting at this computer for over 15 hours a day. A day. Not 5 days out of the week. A day. Okay? That's a lot of time. You get like 24 hours out of the day. It was actually a little insane how much work I was putting into my life. And it was draining me, but it also taught me a lot of skills. It helped me learn what I wanted to actually do, which route I could actually take, which ones I didn't want to take, and how to still make money while I'm doing it. And I had to put art on the back burner. I had to put tarot on the back burner. I had to put a lot of things that I actually enjoy on the back burner, not because I didn't want to do them anymore because I was frustrated. It was because I just couldn't. I didn't have the time. I had to focus. I had to have a backup plan, which is totally okay to have. It's actually greatly considered or encouraged by me. So just do those things and understand that it is a part of the process, and it'll help you see things a lot more clearly. And that's what all of this is about, is just seeing things clearly from a raw perspective. And that's why we take a step back. The step back is the appropriate approach to making the right decision for yourself, because you wouldn't be able to do it if you had all of these things going on all at once like I did. I had a lot of things going all at once, and then it stopped, and I had a period of time where I could chill out and focus on the things that I needed to take care of, and then also really consider, while I was taking a complete break, what I actually wanted. I know, it's crazy, but that's how it works. And now you know. And now you can prioritize yourself and master that, because you're already there to the mastering part. You just got to focus in on what you want. Okay, I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video and reading. If you want a private reading, you can do so by clicking my website down below. It is it's the spiritual.squaresite for now. I'm going to republish my website as soon as possible, probably around the 22nd of this month, which is April. So like on the 22nd of April, you can, or the 23rd. Okay, I'll say the 23rd just to play it safe, because it's the day after payday. I will have my website published again, and so there will be way more content, and it will be focused in on making content, writing, producing, and it's just gonna be a beautiful thing. Okay, I love you guys. I hope you really do hit that like and subscribe button, because it helps me out so much, and it will help you out by helping me out, because I'll be motivated to make more content. I hope you bought that. Okay, I love you guys. Bye.